less than $30. Here you can see a kitchen, and on the right you can see the new black appliance package, a resurfaced countertop. You can see refinished cabinets with new brushed nickel pulls. You can see a vinyl wood look floor. That's not wood, that's not Pergo, that's a sheet good vinyl and is very cost effective. And you can also see the two-tone paint and the updated dining room fixture. The 5-blade 52-inch ceiling fan on the right certainly is a much nicer fixture and provides the type of look that we're looking for. We have found that as we replace flooring, that vinyl is cheaper than carpet. And so in many instances, we'll expand the amount of surface area that we're putting vinyl on, and we'll put more vinyl down. It's cheaper today. It lasts longer. It's cheaper in the future as we go through and make replacements. In addition to that, you can see that for a few dollars more, we can get a wood look vinyl that has texture and grain to it, or a marble tile look vinyl for a few dollars more, and we get long life and wear out of that product. What we're seeing, and Jack teased me when I showed him this photo that I had a toilet on this picture, and I hope I haven't offended anybody's sensibilities, but the seat is down. And so you'll note on one of the acquisition properties with the photos we took at underwriting, the seat was up on that photo, but here we're down. The Echo Boomer demand that Dan talked about, these Echo Boomers that are going to be moving into our communities over the next 10 years are currently living in suburban homes with their parents. Many of these kids are living in semi-custom homes, and they're accustomed to a higher living standard. The problem is they can't afford it today. And so as we're going in and providing the unit interior upgrades, the wood look floor, little items like the gooseneck faucet in the kitchen sink, items like the curved shower curtain rod in the bathroom. The focus of the Echo Boomers is on kitchens and baths. And so as they are moving out of their parents' homes and can't afford to replace that with a home like what they grew up in, what they can do is move into an upgraded apartment unit that has and has been provided with many of the features that they're accustomed to and demand. While we were doing our test with the $250,000, and by the way, the test was wildly successful, and we've doubled that unit interior upgrade money for this calendar year and also for future years, we found that one of the properties that we selected, the Woodcrest Apartments, located in Lubbock, Texas, near the campus of Texas Tech University, was having trouble leasing its smallest unit and efficiency. Several developers had introduced new rent-by-the-bed product in the Lubbock market, both on and off campus. And because students were able to rent by the bed, they were able to undercut our pricing so dramatically that we began to experience dramatic vacancy in this efficiency floor plan that had previously had high occupancy by the students. We went down and took a look at what we'd attempted to do in terms of lowering the rent or creating rental incentives, and none of those initiatives or strategies were successful. And so we dug deep in the market, and we determined through additional market research that there was a strong demand for a small one-bedroom apartment by young working professionals who would take year-round occupancy and would not have 2 months off in the summer when the school was out. And so we determined that if we could go ahead and convert these efficiencies into actual one-bedrooms, that we could generate a monthly rental rate increase in excess of $110 a month. And so if you'll watch, you'll see the conversion that we did. We took the one bedroom and we enclosed the patio or the balcony. We introduced a bedroom wall, and we created about $110 in value with that conversion. What was the result? We performed a prototype test to make sure that we could do it for the money that we thought. And once we confirmed our costs, we then completed this conversion on each and every apartment that was vacant. The 21 apartments that were vacant all leased within 2 weeks of being completed. In addition to that, all of the remaining residents who were in occupancy in the efficiency floor plan came to us and said, we'd like to have the conversion done in our apartment as well. And so what we're doing here is using interior upgrades and creative thinking as it relates to reconfiguration of apartments in a very low-cost way to increase revenue, to increase value on the balance sheet. And that's what we're all about with the unit interior upgrades. You can see the test. Here's the results of the test. We spent about $239,000. You can see the fourth column over is our cash outlay. You can see that we performed the test on 121 units. Our average monthly rent increase was $55 for that upgrade. And you can see that the Omaha property, Fontenelle Hills, our average cost per unit there was $4,000. The reason for that is that those are all multi-story units, and the carpet cost to do upstairs and downstairs is a lot more expensive than it is in a flat. And so you can see that we had about a 1.5 to 2 year payback in most of the units, and we spent, again, $700 to $1,000. What we've done is we've taken each of the 3 regional vice presidents and we've said, okay, here's $500,000 in unit interior upgrade money. Let's compete. Let's see who's going to generate the highest rate of return. Let's see who's going to generate the highest return on investment for this $500,000, and may the best man win. And so we're out scrambling to do the market work to see where we're going to place that $500,000 to where we're going to get the highest rate of return and the lowest payback on the dollars. By doing these, of the $239,000, we increased annual revenue by $79,876. At an 8% cap, that's $1 million in value. And so our objective would be with the $500,000 that we'll spend this year is that we'll create another $2 million in value out of the existing portfolio, will be used for that purpose. I'd like to talk briefly, and I know that our time is running, and I ask that you'll bear with us as we talk about things that are important to all of us. I'd like to talk about a couple of renovation projects, one that is mostly complete and another that we're in the process of working on right now. About a year and 3 months ago, we purchased the 414-unit Willow Hill apartments in suburban southwest Lubbock, Texas. We've got 3 properties in Lubbock, and we like the market. West Texas is a great market, and we're happy to be there. The Willow Hill Apartments is located in a great area. It's at an intersection of 82nd and Quaker. That is a prime retail corner. It's located adjacent to the somewhat exclusive Lake Ridge Country Club in Lubbock, and has high-end housing and high-end retail adjacent to it. Really, the biggest negative of that location was this property. When we acquired the property, we saw through our underwriting that it was a classic candidate for a value-add play. We knew that if we could improve the way that the physical asset looked, and if we could perform unit interior upgrades at this property, that we would be able to increase value in a dramatic way. One of the things that had happened was the property had been built in the late 70s and had been built into 3 villages. The 3 villages had long since lost their charm. Themselves were somewhat uninspiring. They had put 11 different kinds of exterior siding on these buildings, and it was unbelievable, the poor condition of the property and the lack of continuity. We determined through our market research that there was high demand to pay a premium rent for this location, but the individuals who would move in